All right, it looks like we are once again live. Welcome, everybody, to Yankees Live Murica Guns and Freedom Chat. If you've never been here before, this is just a 1 hour conversation between myself and my viewers. But you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. You can talk amongst yourselves over there in the live chat. That's what it's there for. But if you do want to talk to me, that's what I'm here for. I'm here so you can ask me questions, suggest topics, call me out if you think I'm wrong about something. You can come in the chat and let me have it if you want to. If you want to just talk to me in the chat, though, all you got to do is put at the Yankee Marshal in front of your comment or your question. That'll put a little red box around it. Hopefully, I will see it. Why is this not working? Oh, well, I'll check on that in a minute. But like I said, if if you want to talk to me, put at the Yankee Marshal at the beginning of every one of your comments or questions. I will try to answer all those. If I cannot, I apologize. Sometimes we get busy and I don't get to all the questions or comments. If that happens, like I said, I'm sorry. But if you have a question or comment you want answered immediately, you can do a super chat. Super chats get answered with priority. Doesn't matter if they're $2, $20, treat them all the same. You can also do super chats if you just want to donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, because super chats go to fund the Pets and Vets program. So you can do a super chat if you just want to say Pets and Vets or for the Pets and Vets, and because you just want to fund a charity that you believe in. You can also get entries into the friend drawing via super chat if you donate $4.99 or more. That'll get you an entry into next month's friend drawing. Other ways to get entries into the friend drawing are to become a patron over on patreon.com/Yankee Marshal, or a starlet over on subscribestar.com/the Yankee Marshal. That will get you entries into the friend drawing. Another way is to be a WAP member. Those are the people with little icons after their name over there, the little Mavises, the little turnips, the little me's. Those are WAP members. They're the wild ass posse, the chat posse, channel members. You get an entry every month for being a channel member, and you get a free super, and you get that little icon after your name. So, like, little icon's free. Once a month, we will draw a friend after everyone gets all those entries. That person will be the friend for the entire month, and they'll get to spend a gift certificate worth up to $800 retail wherever they want to spend it. I've had people buy violins. I've had people buy guitars. I've had people pay off dental bills, dental implant. Had people buy breaded 92 FS Brigadiers like the last month's winner did. This month's winner has not chosen anything yet. They're going to get back to me. I got a super chat coming in right off the bat here. 545/39, who was last month's friend. What is the name of the orange kitty in the thumbnail? I used to have an orange tabby named Dozer. That is Sherman. And that is Sherman taking a nap on the couch after he came in from being outside most of the night when he's not supposed to be outside. So he's a little damp and a little dirty, but he was exhausted. So he went right over and laid down on the couch and took a nap. Because he's not supposed to go outside, but he went outside for several hours. Because he can open doors. If you don't lock the doors, he can get out. He can even open screen doors. Like if you leave the sliding door open, the screen door closed, if you don't lock it, he puts his little claws in it and slides it over and gets out. Because he's a bad kitty. But he was exhausted, so he laid down and took a nap after he came back in. I almost gave him a bath, but I'm like, he'll clean himself up. I got another super chat coming in here real quick from Slapped in Public for the Pets and the Vets and the poll install update. No update. I don't have one. I wouldn't mind having one, though. I wouldn't mind having a poll in there. That'd be fun to do a little. Of course, with my shoulders, I wouldn't be doing much, but I got good leg strength, though. I could wrap my legs around it pretty good. Okay, that's it over there. Let me go over here to the. No, he's not smelly. He's not the smelly kind of dirty. He's just kind of damp and got, dust and debris all over him because he's been out running around. But he'll get himself cleaned up. I'm sure he has by now. We don't really wash our cats. They take care of themselves pretty much. Let's see, where am I? Is your sea camp made in Milford or Southwick? I haven't shit mine yet. Well, I hope you don't shit it ever, unless you get it stuck in your colon. Then you'll be like, oh, I hope I shit that sea camp pretty soon. But I can't remember. It's one of the original ones. It's one of the earlier ones, which I do believe that's Milford. I don't know. I don't remember. I know my grips are signed by Larry Seacamp. Pocket Sand donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and just said moist, which is a weird word, but actually I used that word yesterday. I said this angel food cake is nice and moist and it's not gritty. Because angel food cake's hard to get right. And that one was right. I was like, that's good angel food cake, which is bad because then I want to eat it. But luckily, I've been flush with watermelon and strawberries the last few days. So I've been surviving mostly off of watermelon and strawberries. I'll eat a whole flat of strawberries in a day. Easy. I don't even have to take them anywhere to eat them. I just eat them as I walk past. I stop every time I walk past in the kitchen and eat like 10, 15 strawberries. Sent email about housing costs. Also, it had a picture of my $250 set of diopter sig sites. Well, I'll have to look for that here in a little bit. You sent it earlier or just now? Yankee, thoughts on the Georgia guidestones? I mean, I saw the story. Excuse me. I saw the story that someone had set off an explosive device next to them and damaged them, and they had to be taken down. But I have no fucking clue what they are, to be honest. I don't know if they're pagan or Christian or whatever, or just an art piece. I don't know. I have no clue what they are. I mean, of course, it's bad when people vandalize public property, especially when they set off bombs on public property, but I really don't know what they are. What's for dinner? Tonight I am making chicken fingers and french fries. I want some chicken fingers. Loves me some chicken fingers. Craving some meat, and chicken fingers are just pretty much all meat with a little bit of breading on them. Japan has some of the most restrictive gun laws in the world. It's very hard to even get gun parts there, yet people can build working firearms. Well, yeah, most anyone who's got half a brain can build a working firearm. And if you've got access to gunpowder and some type of ignition stone or flint or whatever, you could build a musket or something similar to a musket real easy. It wouldn't be hard. As I have to say all the time in disappointment, it's not hard. Just to keep people's expectations low. Peter D. picking up 2 cool revolvers next week. One completes a collection, and the other is for fanny pack carry. And of course, he's not going to tell us. He's going to be a tease, a gun tease. God hates gun teases. God hates teases, period. He'd prefer you just be a slut. Be slutty. Nothing wrong being slutty. Slutty is one of those things people have been shamed for way too much in the world, and there's just no reason to. I say being slutty is hell. It's being generous. Spread that love around. Especially if you give it to people who otherwise wouldn't get any. A nominal snowman says Georgia Guidestones there in the 80s by Christian doomsday people. I've been to them. It's a guide about the end of the world, basically. Oh. So, but they're in the 80s. I mean, I have a hard time being attached to anything that came out in the 80s. I should have known it had something to do with Christians, but it's Georgia, for God's sakes. 545 by 39 donated to the Pets and Vets Fund says, why do you think they were so hesitant to say it was an AR rifle? They're usually quick to say it was an assault rifle. I don't know why they were so slow to say what they said. And I at first suspected a cover up. I was like, did he really use the Kel-Tec? But that wasn't going to be sensational enough because they never mentioned it in the beginning. It's like they were, I don't know, it was real suspicious, but I don't see any evidence of a cover up. I just see more evidence that maybe the police were just kind of stupid. and incompetent, which, hard is to believe. As hard to believe as that is, that looks like that might be the case this time. It's not like, Uvalde, where they're not turning over any video or call logs or information. They're basically trying to cover up everything. What gun is missing from the rack? It's my 360 PD Smith & Wesson, because it's in my fanny pack, which I wore again today. I've been having to leave the house too much. I had to leave the house today to go down to the hardware store and get some screws I needed. I almost have everything I ever need. I have tons of screws and nuts and bolts and, all these other fasteners and pop rivets and stuff like that I think I'll ever need. But every great once in a while, you need something. Like today, I needed a 6mm coarse thread screw, 6mm in length maximum. Or was it 8mm in length maximum? I think it was 6, because it has a very shallow place I need to screw it into, and it needs to go in tight. So I had to go down to the hardware store. Luckily, it's just a little hardware store. It's a little small town hardware store, Washougal Hardware, down in Washougal. So it's just at the bottom of the hill. So it's only like, it's about 15 miles from here, I'd say. And it's a windy ass road, and it's summertime, and it's nice. So I got to get out and drive my car and roll the windows down and feel the wind blow through my scalp. There's not a whole lot of hair up here to blow through. So, it's perfect temperature. It's like, I think it's 69 degrees outside today. And now when I got down there, it was 75. So it was a little warmer down there, but it was like 68, 69 up here and sunny. It's about the same temperature out there as it is in here, because in here right now it's 38% humidity and 68 degrees. So it's perfect in here. I mean, it's just perfect feeling. I got a super chat coming in from Sweetie, who says, does only having semi-auto rifles really set civilians at a disadvantage against tyrannical state? Well, we're at a disadvantage, but it's not because that our rifles aren't select fire. Do the feds and ATF think we got you now? You can have select fire gun. You can't have select fire guns presence. Well, they don't want us to have any gun that has any type of capacity. They don't want a combination of capacity and performance. They don't want guns that would be good against a crowd. Like they don't want, if you're, 2 or 3 of you have to fend off a bunch of jackbooted thugs, they don't want you to have a gun that's good against a bunch of people, period. They want to know, okay, he's fired 6 rounds. His little drum magazine is not, or what you call it, little rotary magazine is empty now. We'll rush him. Yeah. They want to know that you're not capable of fighting back any more than they absolutely have to let you be. Practical Bacon just said P's and V's. P's and V's. In your sub 2000 video, you look like you had Cheeto dust around your mouth. I don't know what it was. It's just, it almost looks like that now. It's just the coloring of it's where my beard is kind of oddly translucent and brown, but almost a little bit of brown in it through there. And the camera picks it up. At first, what I assumed that it was like I was slowly rotting and the camera was picking it up, because if I hold up a mirror and look, there's no discoloration. But when I get on camera, it happens if you watch in the videos too, it's right through here on my hands. It turns orange. So I figured maybe I'm just rotting, or it might be a reflection off the tabletop, because it's got kind of a tone to it. I never thought about that till now, but that might be it too. It might be the tabletop reflecting it. But I'm betting it's just that I'm slowly rotting and the camera can pick that up. Did I jump? Did I miss some questions? Yes, I did. I missed some. I try to work my way back up. I'm using VV N340 powder. I don't know anything about this shit. can run up to 1,700 with other powder. Yeah, I don't know about powders and loading, and so I don't do any hand loading. My son knows way more about that than I do. He works now at an ammo plant loading ammo. So, Bustin' Butts says, "Isn't Highland Park a Chicago suburb? I mean, it's in Illinois. I don't know exactly where it's at." During the Vietnam War, several Viet Cong fighters used homemade guns made from junkyard scraps. Go figure that loony in Japan could build a gun. Well, yeah, pretty much anyway. It's not hard. Like it's like making pipe bombs aren't hard. It's not hard. Hank Hill once said, "You never want to put stress on the valve because you can start a gas leak in regards to propane tanks." Is that true? Well, he would know more about that than me. Got a super chat coming in from Pocket Sand again that says, "What's this about the ATF? What have they done now?" I don't know. What has the ATF done? I didn't see anything about the ATF. I haven't said anything about the ATF. Is there a gun leaning forward from the rack? Probably. Yeah, that one right there is kind of, that one right there is kind of leaning forward because it's very small. It's hard to keep the very small guns staying flat. Got my FNX 45 yesterday. What a superbly put together polymer gun. I still maintain FN handguns are nicer than H&K. I disagree with you sharply, but to each his own. I think FN make good guns, but H&K are better. That's why I like cats more than dogs, because cats tend to clean themselves. Dogs don't do that. No, Turnip and Django are desperately in need of a bath, and we can't take them to the groomers together anymore because the groomer said that if they're in the same place at the same time together, they feed off each other. And one of them throws a fit while the other one's getting groomed, and, you know, like they're trying to defend each other. Got a super chat coming in from Skidmark. Have some funny money. Yeah, British shit. I see y'all got rid of your Trump, or your version of Trump. Emmanuel Fernandez says, "Pinch me a vampire email. My wife's parents can't work, drive, speak English, walk well, or pay their rent. I'm extremely pissed because we got to support them, and it's ruined my life. How do I cope?" Divorce? You said they're your wife's parents. I don't think any spouse has a right to force that kind of obligation onto someone else. So, I mean, I in those kind of situations, I have no problem with someone saying, "This isn't what I signed up for. I married you. I didn't adopt your parents to raise." And because if they don't speak English, can't work or drive, then maybe they shouldn't be here. Are they disabled, or are they just lazy? You can't walk well. Are they just horribly obese, or what is the problem? Crippled? Maybe they should be on disability. But yeah, I wouldn't have signed up for that, especially not if it cripples your lifestyle. If it makes it to where your life is miserable because of them, like you can't afford anything, or you can't go anywhere or do anything. And yeah, I would be like, I didn't sign up for this. See ya. Slapped in Public says, "My 2A guns are still here. Just saying." My 2A guns are still here. Just saying. I don't follow. Oh well, once again, I'm confused. Did you hear about the Japanese politician who got assassinated with a Home Depot special double barrel shotgun? Yes, I saw that. In fact, we've talked about that some already. Have you heard if the new sea camps are dangerous? Seen some people say they throw the slide off during firing and quality is worse since they sold. Mine seems nice. I have not seen any of that. So, and the most experience I've had with the new ones though is just playing with them at SHOT Show. I haven't really owned one, so I don't know. I did get one of their little mag extension things from them at SHOT Show, but I don't know. Can't answer that. I wish I could answer it. I'd be willing to bet it's probably bullshit, but you never know. Best way to place to go would be to the Seed Camp forums and see what people there say. Officer Tater Hater donated, got himself multiple entries into the friend drawing and says, "Hello, Yank and Cookie Dukes." Okay. Did you get the 2 emails I sent? Thinking of getting a custom trigger. I did get an email from you. I don't know. I tagged one. I don't remember if there was 2. Where did it go? I remember I saw one. I remember tagging it. I don't remember where it's at though right now. I don't know. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. It was earlier today. Where's it at? Let's see something from you. What did he say here? I'm missing out the super chat. Thinking of getting a custom trigger for my PX4, but the only one I saw on Beretta's site was the competition model with a lighter pull. I was worried it might be too light. It could be, but I doubt it. What does it say the rating is on it? As long as it's more than like 4 or 5 pounds, you should be fine. But keep your finger off of it and probably be okay, period. And make sure you don't get stuff stuck in your holster, except to carry properly. Should be fine. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of aftermarket triggers for these guns. You can get like all metal triggers and stuff like that, but like as far as like flat triggers, stuff like that, not a whole lot. Where am I at? Nobody sells the decocker only kit for the FNX 45. I saw a post that it's kind of easy to make it a decocker only by removing a plate or something. Are you familiar with this? I sort of am. Back in the day when I had one, I was contemplating doing it, and I remember looking into it, and it wasn't hard. But then I decided I wanted to get one that didn't have the FS on it. I wanted to make it decocker only. Well, you know how it's got the little F and the S on the lip. So I wanted to buy you can actually buy the firing mechanism that you take from one model gun and put it in the other model gun, and it makes it decocker only. But I don't know the details, but I do. What you're saying sounds about right. I got a super chat coming in from 545 by 39. It says, if the California handgun roster gets overturned, I'm going to go broke buying lots of cool guns. Well, you know, you got the blue balls. You got to get it out. Slapped in public. I was at SHOT Show and I ran into Yankee, and there were occasions that he touched me. I don't think so. You're too ugly. I've never touched anybody at SHOT Show. I'm always afraid of the people at SHOT Show because, you know, it's disease haven there. Everybody goes there and gets sick. So I'm real careful about not, you know, at least no mouth stuff. That's for sure. Quinn donated to the Pets and Vets Fund. Where are we? So where am I? I'm down to the Cheeto desk now thing. Wait. The ATF is going undercover at a gun show in Phoenix this weekend. Saw it off Gun Guy TV channel. Okay. Don't give a shit. Don't do anything illegal. Tony Sirico just died from the Sopranos. I saw that, but I never saw Sopranos, so I'm not really sure who he is. Did you hear the Fed says they're 80% sure now we are headed for a recession? I don't know if the Fed said that, but I also saw that contrary to that, the job growth was more robust than they had even anticipated, and unemployment has stayed around 3.5, and shipping is picking up. But that can itself lead to a problem because we're going to end up with a lot of manufacturers or a lot of retailers with a lot of extra goods that they can't sell because once it starts catching back up, you're going to see a lot of sales, I think. Would you trust a Kimber 1911 for carry? Of course I would. That was from Quinn. Of course I would. Yes, they're good guns. Unless someone's like fucked with it or something. But yeah, I would trust one. Where am I? Where am I? I think it's mostly civil rights violations that police officers are not being held accountable for, but I think they will get in trouble for violating most other laws. Not always. No, I don't agree with that. They always have a friend. A holster, my kingdom for a holster. Go buy a holster. It doesn't cost a kingdom. Unless your kingdom consists of, like, some old McDonald's coupons and a thimble. Arkansas is finally going to have legalized recreational marijuana on the ballot in November. Puff, puff, pass. Well, we'll see if it passes. I will actually be surprised if Arkansas passes it. We'll see. Unless it's gotten a lot more tolerant since I was last there. I want to carry 357 mag, but undecided between the 586 L comp thinner and the longer barrel or the 327 PD lighter and more capacity. Which would you recommend a new carrier? 586 L comp. Better overall gun. I was nearly crushed today, but a rely heavy roll off box. The hydraulics failed. Cable spooled out like a fishing reel. The cable I was attached to by the harness did the seatbelt thing. Well, that sucks. At least you weren't squished. I saw a thing today about a guy who fell into an industrial shredder at work, and he's been missing for a couple months, and they finally figured out he fell into an industrial shredder at his work. I'm like, well, that's gross. Talk about that's got to be frightening, falling down into one of those. Slapped in public says, my shot show super chat dealing with touching me was fabricated. I would have paid, just saying, pets and vets. I don't charge usually. Not usually. If I once felt up, I'll feel them up. I don't care. That's a really gross. And then I might charge, but Austin Newby did a super chat here. Says, can you give the pros cons of fostering or adopting a kid for my wife? We currently talking about this topic. Well, there are no cons. I can't think of any cons of fostering or adopting. If you're talking about pros of fostering before adopting, well, that's just the easiest way to go about it. The easiest way to get placement of a child in your home is to go get your foster care license. And then you can do the first thing you can do if you want is to do respite care, which means kids come to you on a 1 or 2 night basis while their foster parents go do something, like have a night out or something. Although a lot of foster parents abuse respite care. Do respite care, and if a kid comes through that you really like, request to be a full-time foster parent for them. And then you have a little time to see how things work between you all, and then you adopt. Now, I became a foster parent or we became foster parents. Not we were planning on doing respite care, never did because we ran into Zyler the week we got our foster care license, and I'm like, I want him to come live with us. Same thing with Caden a week later. So, and I knew from day one that these were going to be my kids for the rest of my life. So we both felt that way. So we just went ahead and went through with started the adoption process. But there's no cons to any of it that I think of. Where am I at? Did I get everything over here? No, I didn't. Ron's Johnson. Homemade Japanese rifle better than a Caltech? Well, yeah, of course. Plus it's made in Japan. Feel like I'm in a Final Destination movie. I've never seen any of those movies. The movie I've never seen, the last night I actually considered watching, is The Thing. You know, the remake, not the original one. I've seen the original one in black and white, but I've never seen the John Carpenter Thing. And I almost watched it last night, but I didn't. Tried to watch something else, and it was horrible. So we just went ahead and started The Boys. Watched one episode of The Boys last night. Let's see where I'm at. If you want to see a pregnant stripper get beaten to death by a mobster, then watch The Sopranos. Nah, I'll be all right. I don't got to watch it. I don't got to watch it. Got other things to watch. Have you ever left an upper decker in someone's toilet? No, I'm not that juvenile. I'm not one of those people. I never have been one of those ones that fucks with people. You know, like, oh, they passed out the party. Let's write on them with marker or smear peanut butter all over them or blah, blah, blah. I was always the guy that when someone passed out at a party, I was always like, that's your friend or that's your fraternity brother. And if you so much as touch them, I'm going to help them kick your ass because that's a shitty thing to do. I've never had that kind of a sense of humor that I thought it was funny to torture other people. Now, if someone got drunk, fell down the stairs, I'd laugh my ass off if they weren't hurt. But victimizing people, I just never found that to be funny at all. I think that is a sign of a limited mind when you think that's funny. Eric Smith donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and got multiple entries into the friend drawing. It says, would you choose a 586 L comp or a 327 performance sense for carry? I'm kind of digging the 327. Well, the 327 is fucking awesome. It's a great gun. I like it. It's cool looking too. And it gives you 8 rounds of 357 Magnum. But I still think the 7 rounds of the 586 is just a little bit nicer, overall gun. It's heavier, absorbs recoil better, it's better size. But hell, the lightness and stuff of since the chances are probably 99.5% that you'll just carry it and never actually have to use it under duress, that being lighter, means a lot. And then the chance you actually do have to shoot it, your adrenaline will probably be so high you'll never notice. The 329 is black. Someone said something about the 586 being blue, but the 329 is black. 327 is black. It's just got a titanium cylinder. See, what the fuck was that? Oh, it's my son sending me a text message. What did he say? Can you see if you can find a Sim or stainless steel flashlight that I can carry? A Sim or? I think his boss at work probably has a new pocket light and he wants one like it. I'm betting. 327 is not blued like 586. No, it is black. And they're both actually just kind of black. Where is my 327? I know it's up there somewhere. Where's it hiding? Oh, right there it is, right in the dead center. But I mean, it's got a black body. It just has a stainless little barrel or a titanium barrel shroud and cylinder. Hold on. This is going to be very unprofessional, but I got to go pee. I didn't pee before the chat, and I ate a lot of watermelon. So occupy yourselves. I'm back. Whew, that feels so much better. I would have been so miserable till the end of the chat if I hadn't went and done that. When I looked up and we were just like 35 minutes in, and I'm like, I really got to go piss. I'm like, this got to get taken care of. Let's see, where am I at? We were talking about the 327. Then Slapped in Public said, "Howl." I guess maybe he's a werewolf. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's a werewolf. Most werewolves have better grammar. Someone said, I hate Ron DeSantis. He thinks he's too conservative. Oh, I don't think he's too conservative. I don't really think he's that conservative. I just think he's a glory hound. Like I said, when politicians are doing their jobs, they're not in the news very often. He's auditioning for the role of the next Donald Trump is what he's doing. So whenever, if you're governor or your mayor or whatever are in the news all the time, then they're not doing their job. They're trying to promote their brand. If they're actually doing their job, they're not in the news all the time. My governor is in the news all the time because he don't do his job. He's trying to promote himself as the next Gavin Newsom. I don't know what he's trying to be, the next Jimmy Carter or something. I don't know. Not Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was a decent guy. I don't know what this guy would be. Who would he be? The next Clinton, maybe, except without the sex appeal. A nominal snowman donated to the Pets and Vets Fund says, "What is worse with super hot load? Which is worse with super hot loads like Buffalo Boar, 2-inch 454 Ruger Alaskan or 329 PD?" Well, 454 is going to be worse than the 44 Magnum, even in the lighter guns. Just it's a more powerful round. And the 460 and the 5-inch Taurus is probably going to be the worst one of the bunch because it's just a snappy round. For the Depends Fund, I should get some Depends, and then I wouldn't have to leave in the middle of the chat or just get a bucket under the desk here. You know how they make those ones that have the little thing that goes over your penis? It's like a little cylinder. You squeeze yourself into it and you just pee. It's like a catheter, but reverse. I've got a nurse in the house. I could get a catheter. It's not pleasant. I've had catheters. They're not pleasant. That was John S., by the way, who donated to the Depends Fund and the Pets and Vets Fund. Devil Dog 17013 says, "For the P's and V's, if California's handgun roster is vacated, I want a Walther. The only ones currently available for sale in the California are the 22s. You mean like the Walther PDP or whatever those are, or do you mean like Walther PPK? Oops. Don Mason said, donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, and said, changed out the grips on my 92X to the more traditional ones with the back strap and improved my ranging performance today. 3 shots on the bull at 40 feet. Changed the grips on my 92X to the more traditional ones with the back strap. Oh, okay. Yeah. You went back to, the new ones come with those grips that make it more like a traditional 92 grip frame. Yeah. I mean, unless you're really good at shooting with 1911, you probably will prefer the regular grip frame. If you shoot 1911s a lot and you go back and forth, you'll probably appreciate the new 92X frames more. Train or Greyhound for interstate transport. I'm quitting my job and it's going to leave me stranded in Texas. Train by far. Train is awesome. Greyhound is horrible. Train is awesome. Greyhound is horrible. Train is awesome. I like Amtrak. I like to ride Amtrak. If I go down to San Jose or up to Seattle, I take the Amtrak. I don't even drive. I'm like, choo choo, taking the train. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen many times where I'm like, leaving on the train. Choo choo. A story from a couple of years ago. A guy went missing. 2 years later, they found his body behind the deep freeze at work. How'd he get behind the deep freeze? And why couldn't he get back out? There are a lot of cons to having a kid, namely having a kid. Nah, there's not really any cons to having kids. There's, responsibilities to having a kid. But to me, it all ends up being one great big positive. I wouldn't give up my kids for nothing, even though it would mean I had a lot more money. Spending, I'd have a lot more money, a lot more free time, have suffered a lot less heartache, but still wouldn't trade it for nothing. And I don't want my kids to leave. They're 18 and 24, and I'm like, you can keep living here. You can live here as long as you want. As long as you're working or in school, you stay at home. Be happy. Just stay with family. If you ever get married, maybe we'll arrange something where, like, I'll convert the outbuilding here into an apartment for old people, the bottom floor, instead of a gym. And you and your wife can move into the house, and we'll move out here, and you can watch over us a little bit in our old age. And we've got room to build another house over to the side if my son wanted a house there. Just cut down some trees and build a nice little house over there. And it's like an elf. We can make like a U here to where we have a family compound. Does the same go for the local sheriffs? If they're on the media a lot, they're not doing their jobs usually. If they're always up, campaigning for something or promoting something, usually promoting themselves. I mean, I never hear about my fucking sheriff here in Skamania County because no reason to. He does his job. Wonder how many are having flashbacks of Yankee's chair that would be left on screen years ago. Also, no way was enough time to wash your hands. Well, I didn't wash my hands. I pissed in the yard. There ain't no sink. I just walked out here to the front building, pissed in next to the driveway. Not washing my hands. I know where my penis has been. I don't know about you, but I don't pee on my hands. Not usually. My foot sometimes, yes, but not my hand usually. And I never wash my feet when I leave the bathroom. A nominal snowman says, read my lips, let me be clear, make no mistake, allow me to spell this out, listen up on this day, I declare I will never have kids ever. That's probably a good thing. Some trees don't need more branches, you know what I mean? In fact, there's some that could stand to be pruned back. But this is nothing like my chair. The Yankees chair came from where sometimes in the middle of a chat, I would just get bored and leave. And I'd never turn my camera off. So it would be hours that my chair was sitting there empty. Mm, I'm working my way up here. I love my 329 PD. Now I want a 360 PD. Yeah, they're nice. I like mine. Simpsons or South Park? I went back and watched The Simpsons 8. It had its moments, but it doesn't hold up very well. I like Simpsons very much. Uh, and Simpsons at its prime, I think, was funnier than South Park. South Park's a little preachy, quite often, and it always comes through that the two creators of South Park think they've got the world figured out, and that any opinion that's different than theirs should be ridiculed. And they're like, we ridicule everybody equally. Well, no, you only ridicule everybody that whose opinions are different than yours. And I find them to be quite wrong on a lot of things because they've never experienced a lot of things in their lives. So, I mean, it's good, but it's not. South Park, when they did their movie, that one of the best things ever. I mean, it's funny, blah blah blah, but it sometimes can be a little preachy, and that's why I like The Simpsons a little better, I think. And at their prime, The Simpsons were hysterical. I mean, laugh out loud funny. So it's hard to beat that. Did you see the Oregon ballot initiative to ban mag permit to buy gun and registry? Well, yeah, but those things aren't going to hold up to legal scrutiny, even if they pass. They're going to get challenged and struck down. It's just an exercise in futility. Where am I at? I think I have answered all the questions. Let me see. I think I've answered all the questions. I think I am done over here. Let me go make sure I haven't missed anything over here. And then we'll just stare at each other for 13 minutes because that's what I got left. I got that from Don Mason where he changed the grips. And I got that last one from Phenomenal Snowman. So I am caught up. And why do I keep getting dongs? What's going on over here? I keep getting dong, 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 dong. I got that one of those was Officer Tater Hater sending me the thing about the 8-foot recording distance. But you should stay at least 8 to 10 feet away from cops anyway. I wouldn't get that close. I mean, I don't want to get close enough to a perp just to film it that I could catch what they got. I don't want to spitting on me or nothing. So, where am I? Let's see. Any new guns on your radar? Not really. I mean, still an Alaskan, but that's been on my radar for a long time. Nothing I can think of. But I mean, I'm sure there is, but there isn't. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not dying for anything. Have you considered the eventuality of robot dogs interacting with yours? I've considered the eventuality of robot dogs. I just don't know if they could ever take place of a real dog, though. It'd have to be way advanced. And I don't believe it would love me. Eventually, they would turn on you. Out of cool. New FN57 looks better. You mean like the newer of the two, or is there a newer one? See if there's a new one. 7. No, you're just talking. I think the second generation, I guess we'll call them. I don't know if they call them that or not. Looks better than the first one. They do. They look better. The controls are a little better. They don't look as cheap. Uh, so yeah, I agree. If that's what you're talking about, if there's a new one, new FN 5.7. I don't see anything about a new one. So, where's this? 5.7 receives. Oh no, there is a new upgrade to the FN 5.7. Awesome sauce. Yes, it does look. What's that weird little thing in the front? But it doesn't have the plastic covering on the slide anymore. It looks like it's metal. Let me see if I can find a good picture to share of it. Here's a good picture. We'll look at this here real quick. Share screen window. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. There you go. See, yeah, it looks a lot different. It doesn't have the plastic cover on the top anymore. Here's the thing, though. If this is a promotional pic, fix the goopy spots, like right there on the front sight. And I mean, come on, a little bit of airbrushing goes a long way to make them think, like, smooth this out in here and get rid of the grit look. But yeah, that actually is looking kind of cool to have the metal. Of course, it doesn't have the taper down front end anymore. It's not the same gun that they used in Battlestar Galactica now, so I probably wouldn't want it as much. But I do like the fact that they got a new model, a new design coming out. We got a super chat from Officer Tater again here. Sent you something worth reading about the 8-foot minimum distance away from recording the popo during their duties. I think this was Florida, and bootlickers are trying to call in the infantry. I think this was Florida, and the bootlickers are trying to call in the infantry. Probably. I mean, the police would love it to make it just illegal for you to film them, period. And they've been trying in some places. You know, they don't want to wear body cams. They don't want people to be able to record them. They want no accountability whatsoever. So, not surprising. Is you guns insured by your homeowner's coverage, or do you have a different company shopping now? I have it through my homeowner's insurance. I have a collectibles rider. Slapped in Public just said Stevie Nicks is overrated. He just about got himself banned. Because that is a horrible thing to say. It is not true. Stevie Nicks is a goddess. She's the voice of a generation, in my opinion. So, fuck off. Stevie Nicks hating son of a bitch. D said, so you're not getting the Boston Dynamics dog with the sniper rifle built on it? The Black Mirror TV series had a creepy episode about it. Well, also in the War of the Worlds series from the BBC, it's those robot dogs with rifles sticking out of their nose, basically. So I would like to have those roaming my property as guard animals, but they wouldn't be something I loved. I wouldn't consider them a pet. I'd consider them a tool. But wouldn't it be nice to have like 4 of those just marching the perimeter of your property with, you know, to where they're always within sensor range or their motion sensors. So they've got the perimeter completely covered or something. That would be very cool. And that they radio in if they see something, and after you can see what it is and you can give permission to fire. Kind of like the idea of that. Kind of like the idea of it. Idea, as we say in West Virginia, idea. I can't wait for the mag cap limit to hopefully be vacated. Then I can finally buy standard capacity magazines for my P226. It doesn't seem right to have a 10 round mag in it. It doesn't. Who do you think would win in a fight between Predator and Boba Fett? If it's purely weapons, I think Boba Fett's going to win. I think his weapons are superior. FN57MRD, is that what they're calling it? The MRD. Is it like an aluminum slide now instead of polymer? I'm not sure. I'd have to look and I'd have to do a little more research here, but it looks like it's got an aluminum slide now. Or maybe it's steel. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably steel because I think the 5.7 produces enough energy for a steel slide. Well, I was thinking it wouldn't. The nominal snowman says Tupac is the voice of my generation. No, he isn't. And he's dead. He's not the voice of anybody's generation. If he was still alive today, he'd be 50 pounds overweight and and doing a daytime residency someplace in Vegas or Atlantic City. So take that. Silver Thor donated to the Pets and Vets Fund says, do you still have your Smith & Wesson Model 60 Performance Center? And do you still carry it? I don't think mine is a Performance Center, is it? Mine is the, what is it? The LDV model. My Model 60 is the LDV with the unfluted cylinder and the LDV serial number, which stands for Leonardo da Vinci. It's because it was used in the Da Vinci Code, I guess. I never saw the movie, but I hear Tom Hanks was in it. Do you have tomato plants this year? Yes. Got a bunch of them. Whether they'll produce or not, we'll see. We haven't been having a lot of heat. Seems like your satellite connection has less drop-offs the last couple of days. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be dropping as much. I don't know why. Maybe there's satellites in different positions now or something. Like I said, I never noticed it anywhere else other than here. I saw a Ruger Alaskan long barrel in 44 Magnum at the gun stop today for 2,000. No, you did not. The Alaskan does not have a long barrel. What you saw is a Ruger Red Hawk, Super Red Hawk, not an Alaskan. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot to be looking at the camera, aren't I? If I'm wanting to scold someone, I got to look there. Not over here. Looks like I got a wonky eye or something. Like, you. Like, are you looking at me? I used to have a boss that had a wonky eye real bad. Oh, when I worked at, when I was doing contract work for NASA at the Marshall Space Flight Center, really bad wonky eye. And we made fun of him for it all the time. It wasn't like we didn't make fun of him for it. He had a sense of humor. I'd be like, did you say that to me or to the Coke machine? Who are you looking at? I laughed till I cried at Cripple Camp and Cripple Fight, and Scott Tinnerman must die. South Park never did that with Simpsons. I laughed hard with Simpsons before, but yeah, there are some very funny episodes. And like I said, back when I did the movie, that was one of the best movies. I saw that movie so many times. See where I'm at here. Mr. CEO 1978 Buddy donated to the Pets and Vets Fund. That's quite a name to have to read. At least it's not as bad as 545 by 39. And then he did it again. I think he might be having trouble with his computer, or he might be having a stroke. I don't know what's going on. Alex Jones thinks the Da Vinci Code is a documentary. Yeah, Alex Jones thinks. I don't think he actually thinks it, but he would let you think he thinks it if it would sell some supplements and some water filters. I always still think one of the funniest things I ever saw was when Alex Jones was doing one of his advertisements for the vitamin supplements, is where he makes all of his money. And it was like him before, and he's just standing there, and he's all pale and flabby. And then it's him after, and he's standing there doing this, and he's still flabby. It doesn't look like he's a half pound less, but he's been smeared with fake tanner, so he's orange now. So I'm like, so what did they saying that the supplement turns you orange? Let's see here. Are we out of time? We are out of time, everybody. I got to go make chicken fingers. So I got to get out of here. I had to add each of my guns to my homeowner's policy to get covered. Is the collectibles rider different than that? Well, it is. I do have to provide a list, but you select how much you want the rider to be for. Like I think my rider is $110,000. So if I ever wanted to cover more than that, like if my collection gets to where it's worth more, which it could be, I'd have to change it. But I saw a house go on the market and thought, I hope somebody cool moves in there. Then I drove by today, and the new owners have one of those thin blue bootlicker flags out front. Ugh, yuck. I see stuff like that up here every now and then. Like there's one road off the road out here off of the paved road that it goes down into the holler. And if you go down into the holler, you see Blue Lives Matter flag, Trump flags. I've only been down there a couple of times. You got to have 4-wheel drive to go down there. Nobody could live down there in a sedan. They would never get out. It's horrible. But Fleetwood Mac, ? Help me get there. LOL. Pets and Vets. Fleetwood Mac is fucking awesome. I love Fleetwood Mac. Always have. Later, folks. 7 Wonders, drink extra water tonight. Thank me later. What did 7 Wonders been drinking? Oh, someone today said, someone says about a wife. I'm like, people are like, well, at least you have the guts to admit when you were wrong when you made your video today. I'm like, I'm used to being wrong. I'm fucking married for 30 years. I don't remember the last time I got to be right. I mean, although I do always eventually get to say, what did we learn from this? I'm always right. And you should stop questioning me. But still, next time something comes up, I get questioned. I get told I'm wrong. So I'm always, I'm never incorrect, but I'm always wrong for some reason. I don't get it. But thanks everyone for coming. I do when it comes to my family life. I'm wrong a lot on here. I don't give a fuck. It's like I tell people, if you want to see me, if you think the stuff I say on video is bad, come to a live chat where I'm uncensored and unedited. I say all kinds of stupid shit. But thanks everyone for coming. I do appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow, same time and place. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.